What up, all my fight fans? So I want to ask you guys this. Who do you think should be next for Tom Aspinall now that he is the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world? You got Ciryl Gane. You got a part 3 with Curtis Blades. You got a few of the guys up there that nothing really strikes out, but one name I would like to see in the mix would be him going up to heavyweight, which is Alex Pereira. Or quite possibly a wild card. Let me throw a wild card at you. Let me throw a joker in the mix of this deck of fighters that we have, and we got ourselves Francis Ngannou. What if Francis Ngannou were to somehow, some way make his way back to the UFC? Who do we want to see him fight next? Now, I know what a lot of people are saying. None of these fights interest anybody. I get that. I get that 100%. There's a lot of fights in the divisions that not really interest us, but we still want to see it happen. Just because it doesn't interest us, just because it's not going to sell 2, 3, 4, 5 million pay-per-view buys, doesn't mean we don't want to see it. I still would love to see Tom Aspinall versus Ciryl Gane. I would love to see another three-part with Curtis Blades. I would definitely love to see him and Alex Pereira mix things up. And good God, what do I have to do to pay for Francis Ngannou versus Tom Aspinall? I would love to see it all. I want to see the heavyweights mix things up. I want to see the heavyweight championship on the line. Do I think anybody that Tom Aspinall fights outside of Alex Pereira and Francis Ngannou is going to be a massive payday and maybe even a main event? Yes. I don't think, no. I don't think anybody besides those two would be a main event pay-per-view. It would be probably more likely an undercard fight with those guys. Because, yeah, they're not super big names. They're not super attractive or super sexy to where it's going to draw that attention. It's going to draw that must-see TV where everyone's going to stop what they're doing for a Saturday night fight and watch it. No, it's not. But outside of those two, where you see Francis Ngannou, where you see Alex Pereira. And, there's a lot to say about that. I mean, we all know Dana White and Francis Ngannou are not the best of friends. They are not writing each other Christmas cards. They are not having dinner with each other. They're not doing much with each other because of the fact that, Francis Ngannou is in the PFL. And Francis Ngannou and Dana White have had a lot of bad blood in history and still continue to throw little minor shots at each other here and there. But at the end of the day, I really think Dana White needs heavyweights. Right now, I don't think the heavyweight division has been at its lowest since probably the early days of the UFC. Francis Ngannou is by far one of the biggest draws right now, the biggest names right now, and I believe if they were going to give Jon Jones any kind of money, they should give it to Francis Ngannou, where Francis Ngannou could draw in that kind of attention. You could have possibly 3 fights, maybe even 4 fights with Tom Aspinall because those two mix each other up so well, and I believe Tom Aspinall can actually beat Francis Ngannou, which is something that Dana White, I'm sure, would really, really love. But anyways, that can actually go back and forth for sure. And then who would not want to see if Alex Pereira moves up, him versus Francis Ngannou? Those 3 guys could really keep the heavyweight division really interesting for the next couple of years. For the next couple of years, I'm telling you, it would be so exciting to see these guys mix all this up. But we need them there. We need Alex Pereira to move up in weight, and we need Francis Ngannou to go up into the UFC. Back into the UFC, I should say. Tom Aspinall, he has a little things to keep him busy in the heavyweight division. Nothing that, like I said, screams main event. But he does have fights that we can see, that we would finally get to see. Because, Tom Aspinall has been gone for so long with this whole interim, with this whole dispute with Jon Jones about him fighting and not fighting. He's been wanting to fight. He's even done interviews where he said he doesn't care about Jon Jones. He just wants to fight for the heavyweight championship of the world. He wants to create his legacy. The guy's wasting his time, wasting his youth. You don't get years back in the UFC, or in sports in general. You have from the age of 20 to the age of 40, possibly, if you're lucky, at that age, to make your money, to really build yourself a legacy, to build yourself a really good history within your own sport. And that's it. Time is done. Follow time waits for nobody. Follow time doesn't care about nobody. It doesn't care if you want to wait. It doesn't care if you want to take your time. It doesn't care if you want to be patient and, slowly build yourself up. Build yourself up slowly. Build yourself up fastly. It doesn't matter. When your time is done, your time is done. And that's what Tom Aspinall waiting around. It sucks. Because you look at Michael Chandler, who did all the waiting around for Conor McGregor and he never got the fight. Where the UFC kind of really messed up is they should have, instead of that Stipe fight, instead of greatest of all time versus greatest of all time, him and Jon Jones and all that Stipe and Jon Jones I'm talking about, they should have done Tom Aspinall. It should have been like, yep, number 1 contender, here you go, Tom Aspinall. Here it is. Don't want it, relinquish the belt. The UFC made a huge decision on not relinquishing that belt a lot sooner and giving it to Tom Aspinall more quick. They played way too many games. They allowed Jon Jones to dictate too many things. They gave too much leverage to Jon Jones, and Jon Jones ended up taking the ball and going home instead of playing ball with the UFC. And it's very unfortunate because all I heard was so many fighters and podcasters talking about, well, when Jon Jones beat Machida, when Jon Jones beat Gustafsson, and when Jon Jones beat Glover Teixeira. I don't care. Let's not talk about something that happened over a decade ago. We're talking about today. We're talking about the champion of the world today, fighting today. The champion of the world this year, fighting this year. It doesn't matter what you did back when you're talking about someone that probably won a fight 3 or 4 presidents ago. It's so annoying to hear that when people talk about legacy when they're talking about his next fight. Oh, he doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't owe us anything. I'm sorry, I disagree. When you are a champion of the world, you owe us a fight. You want to be heavyweight champion of the world. You want to be the best. You have to fight, and they should have had that fight with Tom Aspinall. Tom Aspinall should have been the #1 guy next after Ciryl Gane, but it did not transpire like that. And that's where the UFC dropped the ball big time. That's how I feel. But at the end of the day, guys, you let me know what you think is going to be next for Tom Aspinall. You let me know who should be next for Tom Aspinall. Like, subscribe, hit the notification button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.